Proposing what it calls smart lockdown as a sustainable approach to save lives in the light of the COVID-19 pandemic. I want to take you back there. It's being done via Facebook. Let's go back to the DA leader, John Steenhuisen.
We can protect both lives as well as livelihoods, ensuring that South Africa defeats the coronavirus and emerges from the outbreak with a capable and competitive economy, which will sustain and create jobs and will ultimately pay for the provision of the healthcare economy and services at the scale required to defeat the coronavirus. We believe this is the only way forward, and we are calling on President Ramaphosa and his team around him to join us in reading through this document and looking at a measured, flexible and smart approach to the lockdown of coronavirus in South Africa as a matter of urgency. We remain committed to working with President Ramaphosa and his government on the front lines of ideas in terms of defeating the coronavirus. This is a time in South Africa where we need the best of everybody to be around the table and making these key decisions. It's going to require the best of all South Africans to come to the party and ensure that we are standing together to beat the coronavirus. Now is the time for these ideas to be considered, to cast even wider for ideas. Perhaps there's an adaptable model in terms of this that could be used. But we will continue to put these ideas on the table in a constructive, workable fashion so that hopefully we can emerge through this terrible time in our country's history, united, stronger, and more confident about facing the future than ever before. Thank you very much. I will be able to take questions. So I've got a question here from Natasha. Thank you very much, Natasha. You ask about the testing, 17,000 to 60,000 should be tested per day. Do you think that the country has enough resources to do this? Is it feasible? Well, I think it has to be feasible, Natasha, because without the 3 T's, we're going to be sitting at the end of the 5-week period no better or with no more knowledge than we had at the beginning of the period without those testing. We need to find the virus, we need to find out where it is at, and we need to then make sure that we have smart ways to contain the virus and to ensure that we protect the lives of people there. So any money that government is able to channel into the 3 T's, testing, tracing and tracking, is money well spent. And it should be the primary focus, certainly during this period of hard lockdown. The more testing we get done, the more we will be able to make an informed decision at the end of it. And that decision may be to continue the hard lockdown for a further period. But it may also point to some other solutions that we can have. But we can only make these decisions if we have the data. Simonikiwe from The Citizen, thank you very much for your question. There's a number of South Africans and other parts of the world who want to come home. Is it wise to continue repatriating South Africans? I think it is absolutely wise to continue to repatriate South Africans. I think it is unconscionable that we leave South Africans stranded abroad at this particular time. And we know there are a number of people in Thailand and parts of Africa, in the United States and other countries who are desperate to get home. They have dwindling financial resources. They've been essentially stuck in limbo, either from business or holiday trips, are running out of money and are not able to sustain themselves there. Other countries around the world have focused very hard on a repatriation program. But even that repatriation program is going to have to make sure that it has resources to be able to ensure that when people come in from these countries, particularly high-risk countries, that there is a quarantining period and that they are tested and made sure that they are safe before we simply just let them arrive at an airport and drift into South Africa. Remember, the 3 T's are going to be absolutely essential in terms of combating this particular virus.
All right, that's the DA leader, John Steenhuisen. They're talking to us about the smart lockdown that they are proposing. They're talking about a phased approach with regards to this smart lockdown. They're saying that South Africa can't afford a hard lockdown because SA doesn't have the fiscal space with regards to this. And he was talking about more testing that needs to be done to get a clearer picture. That's been, I guess, the mantra by the WHO, among others as well. Test. And even the health minister was saying that we need to be testing hundreds of thousands of people to get a better picture in order to refine the strategy that we currently have. So we'll get more about this smart lockdown as proposed by the DA in our later bulletins. That's a wrap from the agenda, folks. Thank you very much indeed for your time.